Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're looking at Lego set number 40649, the upscaled Lego minifigure. I was actually at my local Lego store today picking up some new sets that had released on June 1st, and I actually had forgotten that this guy was being released on June 1st as well, and one of the Lego workers was actually coming out to restock the shelves, and he had this sitting on the bottom of the cart, and I kind of glanced at it out of the corner of my eye, and then I saw it, and I asked him if I could go ahead and take a look at it. He was actually going to restock it on the shelves anyway, so he gave it to me, and I knew I had to pick it up. I mean, this is so awesome. It is the quintessential Lego figure, but upscaled. It's obviously a lot bigger. This is a 10 plus set, and it's set 40649, as I already mentioned, 654 pieces. I do like the simplicity that they went with this guy here. Again, the red shirts with the blue legs. And then it's got the traditional yellow head and yellow hands, and then it also has a blue cap. Now you do have a smaller little one here. I'm not exactly sure if this comes with it or if it's there for size reference. Again, I have completely forgotten about this set altogether. I like the colors for the box as well. You have the yellow here on the side, and then the kind of lighter blue background behind the mini or the upscaled minifigure here. On the side, it just has the minifigure in a couple of other languages. And then in the back here, you do have some other poses for the minifigure here. So the hat does open up, and I guess you do have the included minifigure there because it opens up to reveal kind of like a driving mechanism. So I guess the regular size minifigure is actually driving the upscaled one here. You do have a size reference here, so it says 27.43 centimeters or 10.79 inches. So 10 inches overall as far as the height. That's pretty nice, and it does give you a look at the articulation. So it does show you that the head moves side to side, the arms at the shoulder move, at the elbow move, or no, not the elbow, sorry, at the shoulders, and then at the wrist, and then obviously the legs move as well, because you can see that he is in a seated position here. So let me go ahead and open up the box and see what all is inside. All right, so opening up the box, you get a couple things. You get all of your bags here, obviously numbered. You have the top portion of his hat here, which is a molded piece, and then you have your instruction manual right here. As far as the instruction manual, there isn't anything special about it. It doesn't really talk about the minifigure or the upscaled minifigure at all. So again, it's just your standard instruction manual here. And as far as the bags, you do have 5 numbered bags, but for certain numbers, you do have multiple of them. So for number 1, you do have 3 bags. And then for number 2, you actually have 2 bags. So it's a little bit more than just your 5 regular bags. So I always like to mention that because sometimes people, especially if you're new to Lego, tend to think that, oh, I missed something or something like that if you don't pull all the bags, and maybe you get frustrated or stuck in a particular step. I always recommend you pull out all your bags and group them together. I generally try and group them in stacks of 5. That's just the way that I like to build my my sets. It makes it a lot easier for me, you know, if I'm done, and that's kind of like a starting and stopping point. So I know after I get done with a particular stack of 5 or numbered up to 5, then I'll take a break, and then I'll, you know, so forth and so on. So just make sure that if you do build your Legos and you're new to building Legos, you make sure that you have all your numbered bags together. So let me go ahead and put this guy together, and then we'll take a closer look at him. All right, so went ahead and finished putting this guy together. Let's go ahead and take a look at the minifigure first. So here it is. Obviously, as you can see, he looks exactly like the larger one there. I just really like the throwback look of him, especially with the yellow hands and the yellow face. He's got his little hat on, and then his blue legs and his red shirt. So really, really awesome. Now, taking a look at the larger size here, and again, going by the box, the upscaled minifigure looks really, really cool. He looks as close or as exact as he would to the regular minifigure, just obviously in a larger form factor. Again, it's up to 10 inches as far as the height goes. Putting him together was pretty interesting, even though it's only 654 pieces. I think they did a really awesome job in making sure that each and every one of those pieces counts. Now, he's not flimsy, but he's not sturdy. It's just it's kind of like in the middle. He's perfectly fine as a display piece. You know, if you wanted to display him, like at a desk or a bookshelf or something like that. But you know, you just have to be a little bit careful because you know, some of the attachment points are a little wiggly, as you can see here. The legs do wiggle a little bit because they do articulate, and the cool thing is that they individually articulate. So if you wanted to have him in a particular pose that you can get to, like maybe like a walking pose or something like that, you can do that, obviously standing, and then last but not least, it's obviously sitting. I love the attention to detail, you know, obviously with the little ledge right here in front of his legs, as the minifigures would have. Then the shoulder part right there does articulate, so you can actually move his arms up if you want him out in front of him. And then his hand portion, you know, the wrist actually does articulate as well, just like a regular minifigure would. Again, if you grab a regular minifigure, you can move his arms up and down, and then you can move his wrist, you know, left and right, and then the same thing with his legs. So really, really awesome attention to detail. You also have the printed towel right here with his eyes and his mouth, then make his little face, and then to the top right there, which is his hat. Now the hat the brim is a little bit large in my opinion, as far as, you know, because if you see right here, you can barely see his face underneath there. But the part that I kind of don't like is this part back here. I almost wish they would have found a way to round this off, you know, just so it kind of represents the actual hat a little bit better. But again, you know, it's the back of the figure, so depending on how you're displaying them, you're not going to see that. But you can also rotate his head left and right, which is really cool. And then from the back, it's just very plain. Again, nothing in the back at all. Now, the last part of this guy is, obviously, as you saw at the beginning of the video, is this portion up here. This, the top of the hat actually does come up. And you have a little control center right there. So you have some printed tiles right here with some controls. And then you have these little mechanisms that act like if they were joysticks, basically. So the little minifigure can actually sit in here. And I'll try and put him in there so you guys can see what that looks like. So he sits right in there, just like that. And then now it mimics like he is controlling the upscaled minifigure. Now you do have a couple of gears in the back here that kind of rotate up and down, but they don't really do anything. Same thing with these two joysticks there. They don't really do anything either. There's a printed tile on the other side there to kind of, you know, represent the mechanism of, you know, the little minifigure driving the upscaled minifigure. And then you can close this portion down, and it closes nice and tight, so there's no gaps or anything like that, and none would be the wiser that there is a little minifigure in there controlling the larger minifigure. So I think if you are a Lego avid person, if you like collecting Legos, or if you just, you know, maybe have that nostalgia factor, maybe you're not into Legos, but you were as a kid, or even if you are now, that's fine either way. This would be an awesome display piece. Again, the cool thing is you can, you know, sit them down. So if you're the type of person that likes to display their things in different poses, you know, from time to time, maybe, you know, sometime you'll keep him standing like this. You can almost make something for him to hold also. So if you are going to have him like at work and you use a pen or something like that, maybe you can, you know, build a pen out of Lego and put it in his hand, or whatever it is that you know, your imagination would come up with. But I think this is a really awesome piece, and again, I'm really glad that I got it. I believe it was $49.99. So again, I think it's a really good value for what you're getting. I know sometimes the piece to price ratio might be different and stuff like that. I don't tend to focus on that. I tend to focus on, do I like the piece? Do I like the set? Is it going to look cool? Am I going to have fun building it and displaying it? And if that's the case, then I'll go ahead and purchase it. And I think this is one of those that you cannot go wrong purchasing if you like Lego and you like the minifigure look here. So again, this is set 40649, the Up-Scaled Lego Minifigure. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.